It's Monday, March 16th, 2020, and we're looking at lessons in leadership for the coronavirus crisis.
I'll repeat it. The worst is yet ahead for us. It is how we respond to that challenge that's going to determine what the ultimate endpoint is going to be.
Okay. A retired general and former Navy SEAL explained in a new CNN op-ed that, quote, like with any of history's hardest problems, leaders with steady resolve and a willingness to take action will see us through. The authors of that piece join me now, former commander of U.S. forces in Afghanistan, retired General Stanley McChrystal, and former Navy SEAL Chris Fussell. Thank you both very much for being with me and for writing this.
Thanks for having us. Thank you, Bob.
General McChrystal, let me begin with you. When you heard the president, and this is not about politics, this is just about what the American people need to hear in terms of clarity of message. When you heard the president say that it's under tremendous control and that to be contradicted by his lead doctor on this, where does that leave America in terms of leadership?
Yeah, I think where we are is there's going to be plenty of time, months in the future, to figure out what wasn't done that should have been done and who's at fault. And right now we're in the fight. We had a chance maybe to minimize or dodge the full effect of the coronavirus, but that's beyond us. So now I think we're going to need leadership, and we're not going to be able to get it just from the national level. I'm talking leadership, local levels, in your business, in your families, actions that we don't normally think we're responsible for, but we're going to be critical to now.
Chris, you both opened this piece by writing that this situation in this country and really around the world right now reminds you of the early months of fighting Al-Qaeda in Iraq. What lessons can be drawn from wartime to now?
Yeah, it's a great point, Poppy. The interesting parallel here is that Al-Qaeda, what we were facing in previous generation, was it's a distributed network of fighters, right? This is a network-based disease spread, right? So you have to restructure the way an organization interacts. And one of the major points that was put in place immediately by General McChrystal and his leadership team was massive communication structures, transparency, communicating with thousands of people inside our organization every single day. That's going to be an important step moving forward.
There are lessons here in leadership for corporate America, for big business CEOs, but also people leading small businesses. I told you, General McChrystal, I sent your op-ed early this morning to my husband because I thought it would be so helpful and instructive in terms of how does he lead his team remotely. You write in part, quote, your role as a leader is to be brutally honest about what is achievable in the coming weeks and months as this disruption continues and ripples across the economy. Talk about the importance of that candor and sort of telling people how hard it is going to be and being brutally honest with them.
Well, the thing is, people have access to tremendous amounts of information, and they're smart, and they will figure it out, but they will also fill a vacuum up. If you give false information, what happens is they fill up what you didn't, and you lose credibility, but also sometimes they'll fill it up with worse than reality. So it's important that leaders say, we have a huge hill to climb. We got a big problem here, but we can do it. And so leaders provide a reality check, but also a confidence-building set of inspiration.
Chris, what should business leaders say to their employees now who are asking them, is my job going to be safe? Are you going to pay me if I'm out for weeks with this?
Well, I think your point is critical there, Bobby. The first thing they need to do is start talking with their people. Everyone we talk with now, they've set up their COVID response team, et cetera. That's a good first step, but that's a small part of the organization. Set up daily, maybe every other day, calls with as many people as in your organization as you can get dialed in. The first thing you have to do is have a platform where you can have those conversations. And then speak honestly. We don't know what's going to happen. If you tell your people you have a clear, exact understanding, they'll know you're either crazy or lying. So put in place the systems where you can start having honest conversations with your people.
General McChrystal, tell me why you thought it was so necessary to write this in this moment right now. What were you feeling and seeing that led you to this?
Well, we are in a fight against an enemy, a virus, but the nation's going to have to operate. Businesses are going to have to operate. They provide functions that we all need, and they provide business, income, but also they provide a sense of teamwork and belonging to something.
Yeah.
So we can't let the fabric of that be torn. We can't let everybody go home and suddenly feel isolated, or we'll lose what binds us together.
What do you think, Chris? And, we get a lot more from work than a paycheck, which is critically important, and health care for those who are lucky enough to have it, but a sense of community and belonging and necessity. right? How can we keep that up at this moment?
That's right, and that's one of the similar parallels to what we went through. We'd grown up with a common headquarters where you came in and you had those hallway conversations and you went to the gym together in the morning. Suddenly that was all gone. We were distributed around the world in small pockets for years. Leaders have to step in and fill that void because it's the culture that holds us together that undermines the effectiveness of an organization. And leaders have to step into that breach right now and start filling it through a virtual platform, which can be challenging and different, but they have to start today.
Thank you both for writing this for the advice, General Stanley, McChrystal. Chris, to you as well. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Poppy.
This just in.